What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Boy Wonders podcast. I'm
Hey,
Trev.
how's it going? I'm Dan.
How are you? Yeah, there it
Good.
is. Yeah. How you
I'm
doing,
good. I'm
brother?
good. Good, man. Good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. Rough couple of
Yeah,
weeks, but that's all right.
right.
That's life, and we are good. We are trucking right along. So, as we kind of alluded to in our title, this is going to be a little different than our usual affair. It's going to be a little tighter, a little shorter in scope, but you know, not going into it. But as I kind of mentioned, I had a rough couple of weeks. I did not get a lot of reading done, so getting a topic for this particular episode just kind of seemed like forcing it. So instead, we're just going to sit here with you guys for a little while and kind of talk about some things that are on our minds, things that you know we love, we're looking forward to. I know Dan's been reading this, so Dan, kick us off, brother. What have you been reading? I know you've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. It's been a kind of a I guess not a rough week, but just a difficult week. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody that's watching knows, but I mean, like I'm a corrections specialist. I work at the brig for the Navy, and we got this new prisoner that's just the worst. And just draining, and it's like the last thing I wanna do when I come home, is, like, start researching everything, so I've just been reading stuff that I wanted to read. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
perfect. I will say I did read a little bit. My wife Taylor, she finally was like, "Hey, I've got a book. Maybe you'll like. Maybe you won't. But I have the first 12 volumes of Invincible. So I started reading Invincible again a little bit. To
Nice, nice.
yeah, well, because I told her I was like, she's like, I'll check something out. I'm like, all right, cool. And she's like, don't give me one of your big ones because I was like, I'll read The Walking Dead, but I just have the Omnibuy. So
Right, the big old
So
compendiums.
yeah, the compendium. So instead, I busted out Invincible, but before I handed it to her, I'm like, let me crack back into this, dude. Invincible's such a good book. I'm so ready for season 2.
Oh, dude, I'm beyond excited for that.
Yep,
I can't
trailer
wait.
finally dropped. Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm very
yep,
excited.
yeah. So what about you, man? What have you been reading for fun?
I mean, it's all fun. It's like the only thing I do. I'm such a hermit, you know?
Right?
I
No, I
don't
hear
go
you.
out and do things really anymore.
I
Unless
feel
it's
that.
comic book related, or hanging
Right.
out with my lady,
Yeah.
but that's about it, dude. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff I've been reading actually. I've cracked a lot back into um my indie stuff. So
Good.
I
Yeah,
caught
that's
up on
awesome.
this book called Terror War, which is pretty sweet. It's like this elite group of commandos in this like futuristic city. I
Nice.
guess
Dig
not
it.
really elite group of commandos, but they're kind of like the Ghostbusters because they have these entities called terrors, and um,
Okay.
they embody the person's like worst fear, and
Oh
this like
wow.
select group of people can only are they're the only people that can kill these things.
Okay.
But
All right.
as the book goes on, you find out that they're not actually killing them; they're just misplacing or displacing them, and then they come back. So
That's cool.
it's
Okay. All
really
right.
dope. Yeah.
I dig that a lot.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Super into that. Catching up on a whole bunch of stuff, man. Like I said, I've just been reading and reading and reading, dude.
that's awesome.
This was just like last night. You know what I
Oh
mean?
wow. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
What's the furthest place from here? That book is ridiculous. It's this post-apocalyptic tale by Matthew Rosenberg,
Okay.
and it's all the adults are gone, like they're dead, and it's just all these rival gangs bouncing around of
Nice.
kids, and they just have their
That's
different like
awesome.
yeah, they have their different deities that they worship. So the group that you follow in the beginning mostly is this group, and they all have their deities are records. So their
Okay.
home base is a record shop, and they have records. It's
That's
pretty
sick.
cool. Yeah, it's
That
super. I've been
that's
meaning to
sick.
tell you to read
Like,
this. It's really good.
yeah, no, that sounds right up my alley.
Yep, that's the jam. Oh, and then what's his name? The actor Jay Baruchel.
Oh,
How to
Jay
Train Your
Baruchel.
Dragon. Yeah,
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 dude, I
yeah.
love Jay Baruchel.
Just
Dude,
the end.
that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, he has a book called Tear Us Apart. It's really
Okay.
good. Um, it's basically like Romeo and Juliet, essentially, but
Okay. I'm
if
for it.
we're raised in a weird death cult together
Okay.
where emotion is outlawed. It's pretty sweet.
Right on. Dude, that's awesome. So what is it? Sorry, got kind of a little, my head went away for a second. Dude, I'm really excited about Arcbound. Speaking of like actors and whatnot writing, dude, Tom Hardy and Scott Snyder
On a
teaming
book
up.
together? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, like that makes me so happy. Because Tom Hardy, I mean, I love Tom Hardy. The man can do no wrong, except for
Yeah.
have his vocals not come through clearly enough and then have to be amplified over the rest of the track.
I mean, he just has to go back in and re-record everything. That's kinda
Yeah.
his cross to
Yeah.
bear at this point.
Right. I know it.
But yeah, man, like, just and I finally finished Night Terrors.
Nice.
It was
Nice.
the most okayest event that I've read in a while, and I love Josh Williamson. I think, Josh
Yeah.
Williamson is great. He's doing amazing things on Superman. He did a incredible run on Flash during the Rebirth era.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing Superman, he's doing Green Arrow, he did Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths and
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
um, Night Terrors. But the
But it's
the
only
core
Dark
book was
Crisis on
great.
Infinite Earths after issue 6, though, right?
Issue 3, yeah.
Issue 3. Okay.
Yeah, after issue at, like, at or no, on issue 3, it changes from
Yeah.
Dark Crisis to Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths because like, "Oh, no, it's a crisis, we gotta make it a crisis event."
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
it is what
But
it is.
that's the thing with like with those big is we've talked about it before, man. With those big events, like the core books are typically like where it's good. And then there are some tie-ins that are solid, but dude, when it's such a massive undertaking, like you can only expect everybody to be as spot on as they're capable of being, and that doesn't always work out.
Yeah. Speaking of always being spot on, uh I got some real exciting news. I mean, it's not like super new, but
Yeah.
it's exciting for me because it's like my favorite comic book of all time. Fear
Yeah.
Agent is getting their 20th anniversary re-release in the deluxe hardcover, and both the core artists are doing their own specialty covers.
That's
So
awesome.
the entire series is in two giant deluxe volumes that you've seen them, like all the Deadly
Yeah.
Class and things like that.
Right, right,
What Rick
right.
Remender's doing with Giant Generator is phenomenal. Just shelf aesthetics.
Right.
It's the best. It's so
Dude, and
good.
that's yeah, the shelf pieces like oh, what was it you sent me? Was it the that was the Grant Morrison Batman and Robin, like the
Yes.
all-star the yeah, dude, like that is gonna be such a beautiful shelf piece.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
Oh,
mean, all
I
those
can't
absolutes though, because 'cause they're all slip covers, so
right,
you got, like, the
yeah,
really nice,
yeah,
like, slip box, and then they
yeah,
all have the nice ribbon bookmark and everything.
right,
It just very so good. But yeah, dude,
yeah.
so I got the covers here. So we got Tony Moore doing the 2 covers for volume 1. So we got young Heath Houston or Huston, however you wanna go with that, um, for volume 1, and then you got older Heath Huston for volume 2, and
That is
these are
sick.
some amazing portraits. And
Those are
then
beautiful.
Jerome Opeña's, oh, I'm torn because I wanna get both, but I don't need 3 copies of this freaking book.
Right.
But, like, he does these giant paintings on here, and they're just
Oh, that's sick.
gorgeous.
That is sick.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
volume
that's
2
really cool.
is Old Man Heath. Yeah,
Nah, dude, yeah,
super good,
so
dude.
Fear Agent is one that I mean, it sits in my library, and it's one that I absolutely have to go back to, like, I have to go in and read.
Been telling you
But
for
I think I
years,
might
Bert.
yeah, I think I might wait at this point though, and I might just wait for those to come out, pick those up, and read them that way.
Yeah, dude, and the just everything about it is just
Yeah.
so good. Just
Yeah, I mean,
the
I've been
story
yeah.
is that I don't know. We're not gonna get into it. I won't get into it because
Yeah.
that's a whole.
Right.
two-parter in
That's an
itself.
episode. Yeah, that's an episode in
Yeah,
of itself. I
that's a
mean, I've
two-parter in
been
itself. I don't even wanna get
yeah, I've
into it just
been
because I'll ramble on.
right. I know, and that'd be a better conversation piece. So I have been I did read another issue of Once and Future.
Okay.
Because like I'm dude, I have to baby myself. Or no. I didn't read another issue. I finished the issue that I had started when last we spoke about it. So I dude, that book is everything. Like I need to own it physically. Comixology is not doing it for me for that one because that's one I just want to have in my hand. I love
There's
Comixology.
certain books, man. Yeah,
Dude, it
and I
is. It's one of those things, and it's the same thing with Deadly Class, man. Like I started, like I bought the first, I bought the first two trades that way, and dude, I just like I would rather own it. But our LCS, they can place orders, but they don't like to if you're not like if you don't have like a weekly pull folder. If you haven't been shopping there for years, they typically don't place orders. It's a
which
weird
is
setup.
that's kind of a
Yeah.
bad business model, but I get it.
I agree. Yeah, no, I
If
get
you
it too because
no, go ahead,
hmm?
go ahead. No, I was
No,
just
I
saying,
was
like,
like you go. You
I'm
go.
gonna
You
fight
go.
you. I will fight you. No, it's like one of those things that if you're not familiar with the customer, if they're a newer customer, just
Right.
be like, "Hey, we'll special order this, but you're just gonna put a deposit down." It's
Right.
non-refundable. That
Right.
way, if you back out, then that's it, and then we're
Yep,
not
you eat the
eating
cost.
an entire cost of the book, right?
Right.
Um,
But
but that's it. I
yeah,
mean,
I mean, so anyway, I'm just gonna keep showing my face there every, week or two. Just say, hey guys,
yeah,
it's still me. Like I'm still gonna keep coming back here. Please order these things for me because I do want to support them, and they're like one of the closest shops. We do have we have Symbiote Collectibles, which dude, if you ever end up here, like visiting and whatnot, I'm taking you in that shop so that you can blow your next 6 paychecks because they are more like a figurine and comics and old school gaming console. They are such a cool collectible shop, but they're not like
okay,
your typical comic book store. They have comics and they have graphic novels and everything, but it's all like older stuff.
yeah,
They specialize in the collectibles aspect. So I'm kind of hoping that I'll wander in there one day and some like they'll have like Deadly Class Volume 1 in the hardback and it'll just be, mine then.
yeah, dude.
Um,
Uh,
yeah,
they just dropped Volume 4 not too long ago, and I
yeah,
finally got my copy from Gotham,
that's
dude.
awesome. Dude,
Oh,
that's sick. But I've sworn off the big A. I'm not using them anymore. So just so everybody can rest assured, I refuse to support that bad business for
there
my
you go, man.
comics in physical form. Um, so I know we were kind of texting back and forth about stuff we want to talk about. I just want to go ahead and get into this right now. I need to go ahead and let everybody know where I stand on probably one of the most like this is going to be a hot topic, like a very hot take, and it hurts me to say it, hurts me to think it, hurts me to feel it. Chris Nolan's Batman trilogy is probably at first glance one of the best interpretations of Batman on film. It's got the greatest live action Joker. I love Jack Nicholson, but Heath Ledger took that role. He owned it and made it his, and it killed him. And I miss him, and I wish he would have come back. Tom Hardy is Bane, even though his voiceover work had to be done after the fact because he
Or
wasn't
redone,
loud
yeah.
enough when they were shooting it. I'm not even going to talk about The Dark Knight Rises. There, you could drive a Mack truck through the plot holes in that movie. Everything that's not okay with that movie. I love the spectacle of it. I love the ridiculousness of it. I love that movie for as like just I need to shut some parts of my brain off and not think too hard about it because 6 months it took Bruce Wayne so much longer than 6 months in the comics in Nightfall to get his back
Right.
better. But Michael Caine as Alfred, just inspired choice. However, The
Hey,
Dark Knight is almost a perfect movie. It's almost a perfect movie, and the fact that it's not almost like that makes it worse for it
right.
because of how good that movie should be. But I am sorry. In no world, in no universe, I don't care about Elseworlds. I don't care about the multiverse. Batman doesn't stop being fucking Batman because of a woman.
Whoa.
Period.
Whoa.
Period.
Well, and that's the whole thing
But
with
yeah,
Batman, right?
right,
Because he chooses to be Bruce Wayne, and that's just not an option if you go and
right,
buy the comics, right?
right,
Because the whole thing is
and yeah,
Bruce Wayne is his actual mask, and
that
He is Batman
is yeah,
all the time, you know?
right. And I love uh I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. Oh wait, no, yeah, there you go. I agree. I could not agree more. Um,
I think he's great.
yep.
I enjoyed that
But
movie a lot.
dude, that movie was perfect. That was a perfect
Mhm.
movie except for the post credit stinger. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I mean,
But
I don't even know if it was a post credit. I think they released it after the fact, that whole Joker scene.
oh yeah. If you watched it on Max, it ended up
Oh,
being a post
it's a
credit
post
stinger.
credit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
That's
but
just a weird
no,
choice for the Joker,
yeah,
just like that whole
yeah,
aesthetic and everything, but I mean, it's
yeah.
different. I'm cool with
Hey,
it.
it
I
it's not Leto, so I'll allow it.
Yeah, yeah,
But no, it just dude, I was sitting in bed and I was watching it, and I'm just like and it was nagging at me. It was bugging me. I'm like, "There's something wrong here that, like, in the last 20 years or, 15, 16 years since this movie came out, never, like, didn't bother me." But and then it hit me. It's just like, no, yeah, when he's sitting there, he's talking to Alfred, and he's like, "She was gonna pick me. It was gonna, like, I could have stopped doing this." It's like, "No, no, that's
yeah,
not
like,
Batman."
that's not what you do, right?
No, Chris Nolan almost understood Batman, and that's what makes that movie fail and or, flawed in the way that upsets me because again, it is so close to being a like, dude, Aaron Eckhart, amazing Harvey Dent. Like, there is, like, so much good about that movie, and it should have been perfect, and it wasn't, and, like, and that's one of those, like, that's me being a ridiculous fanboy finding quibbles in something that is for all intents and purposes, a great movie. It is such a good movie, but, being the comic book geek that I am, like, I found this glaring issue, and now I'm bothered by it.
Yeah, I mean, as films, I think they're phenomenal, cinematography,
Mhm,
score,
mhm.
direction, everything about it,
Yeah,
it's great.
Nolan makes tight movies. Like, he makes beautiful, wonderful movies.
But I've said it since they've been out, man. I don't give a fuck what Batman would be like in the real world. I don't want a
Right,
realistic take
right,
on Batman because I don't
right.
care. I get it. Yeah, he's a dude, so it could feasibly can happen. But I want to see him fight Man Bat. I want to see him fight a big ass Killer Croc, Like, what are we doing? But yeah, no, Tyler said he likes Battinson better. Um what are you guys' thoughts on Batfleck? I know that's a weird take or a weird, like issue with people is because people don't like Ben Affleck for some reason. I love Ben Affleck. I'll die on that hill alone. I thought he was a great Batman. I thought he was a great Bruce Wayne. I don't think he got a fair shake. Like personally, I think if he would have got his own movie, I think people's opinion on his Batman's take would have been way different. But, I'm definitely in the minority in that opinion. Yeah, chime in, let us know. But yeah, no. Yeah, no, absolutely. Man Bat, Clayface, that's who we wanna see, dude.
Right. And,
That's who we wanna
going
see.
back yeah, like you were saying with Batfleck, I enjoyed getting to see him in the Flash being Batman, just like, dude, I would have loved
That was his best outing as
yes.
Batman, and he's in the movie
Yes.
for what, 5, 10 minutes, Just the
If that.
opening.
Yeah, no, I always think about, listening to Kevin Smith's podcast back in the day, and he's talking about Ben Affleck getting cast as Batman. He's like, "Man, it's crazy. I saw Batman's dick." But no, dude, the Batfleck was great. I love the Batfleck,
Well, because
and I love
Ben Affleck's a big fucking dude, so he's big,
dude,
he's
he
menacing,
is.
he
Yes.
is like, if he
He
showed
is
up on you in an alleyway dressed as a
right.
bat, I'd probably
Yeah,
piss myself, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
He was the perfect Frank Miller Batman. Like, he
right.
was the
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns Batman, and Tyler, I agree with that, that he was very similar, I guess, like, in some ways, but dude, he was like, if they would have done a shot of him going in a lightning bolt, oh, that
I
would
mean,
have
they
been
did.
everything for me.
They
They
did. It
did,
was in
yeah.
Batman vs Superman. Like, it literally, like, they
Oh my
that's one of
gosh,
the
you're right.
first
Yeah,
times you see him.
you're right. Yep, you're right. Holy crap. It's been so long since I've watched that
Oh, wait,
movie
no, maybe
because
it's
of
not
like
Batman vs Superman. I think it no, that's the opening scene in Justice League, right? When he's getting the Parademon? Or am I getting them mixed up?
no, you're right. That is whenever he's going after the parademons in Gotham. But
Yeah, it's like
oh
the
man.
opening,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
scene with Batman. But no, yeah,
Right.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Timeline-wise, there wasn't a big enough gap in between
Right.
Dark Knight Rises and Batman vs Superman, right?
Right. No, because I mean Dark Knight Rises, that came out what, 2014? No, 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 2013.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
2013. And then we had Man of Steel in 2013 as well.
yep, and
Like that
then
all
we
came out,
didn't
and then
get
Batman Superman came out 2016.
yeah, so,
The
like,
jeez
there
Louise, yeah.
wasn't enough time to have a longing for a new Batman, so I think
Right.
no, that's definitely a valid point. I agree with that
Yeah.
100%.
And I think, but the other issue with that is that they introduced him in a crossover movie. Like, don't get me
Right.
wrong, getting that Comic-Con reveal of the logos on top of each other, and you've got the
Yeah.
Frank Miller bat on top of the Superman logo. Dude, that was amazing.
Yeah.
But he should have gotten his own outing. Give us that 30-year Batman story. Like, he's been Batman for 20 years or whatever story. Like,
Yeah.
give us that solo, then bring them together.
Well, no, dude, and then, like, Zack Snyder did do it right by just having his parents getting murdered in the alley and all that stuff in the
Right,
opening
yeah.
credits, and it was just
Right,
there was
sure.
no dialogue, it was
Yep,
quick clips. We just saw it
yep,
all
we got a little.
happening, just like a little refresher, in
Yeah,
case people don't know.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne. Now, I would love them to do an actual Flashpoint and have Jeffrey Dean Morgan come back and
Yeah,
play Batman in the parallel universe that Flash creates.
right. But,
Um,
I don't know, I just think it was a missed opportunity, honestly. I
yeah,
think it like,
agreed.
as much as I loved seeing Michael Keaton back as Batman,
Dude, that was so much fun.
I think if they would've done, like, a more Flashpoint-oriented
Right.
story instead
Yeah.
of a Flashpoint light, you know?
Yeah, Flashpoint adjacent, if you
You're
will.
right, yeah,
Right, yeah. It's
I
like
just,
and it is.
this this comment
Yeah,
right here. Yes, Brett, give us the boy wonder, alright? I
bro.
want it I want like, legitimately, I want Robin as a little, like, 12, 13-year-old kid beating
Yes.
up thugs in an alleyway with Batman. I think
Right.
that's cool.
Right.
I don't even need to see a young Dick Grayson. I just want him to be
No.
already
No.
established as Nightwing
Yep. That's
and
what we're
him
gonna get, though.
I know we are gonna
Brave and
get
the
that. I know we're
Bold.
gonna get that. I
Brave
know
and the
we're gonna get that.
Bold,
That's what
dude.
I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying, okay?
Oh, dude,
So
like,
well, and we're gonna get an already established Tim and
yep.
Jason,
Yep,
alright? Because
because he's
if
yeah, because we're getting
Damien's coming
Damian
in
Wayne, dude,
yeah,
and James Gunn knows better than to fuck this up. Like, he knows. That's what I love about him, dude. He cares about these characters as much as we do. So it's gonna be so good, man. I cannot wait. I'm excited for the Superman movie because I'm always excited for a Superman movie.
yeah, that makes
Superman
perfect
movies
sense.
are just fun, dude. Like, they like except for Man of Steel. Man of Steel's good. I like Man of Steel a lot. I think they got Paul Kent wrong. Um, sorry, Paul Kent's not gonna tell he's not gonna tell Clark when Clark asks him, should I let them die? I don't know, maybe. No, that's not Paul Kent. That's not
Yeah.
what Paul Kent says.
He says,
But
do your best to save everybody." Yeah.
exactly. But and Scott Snyder did
Yeah, Brett,
yeah,
exactly. No, I
yeah,
think we're just so hyped just
right.
to potentially get him. I
Right.
think
But you know what? I'll
we
even
won't
say,
be
like,
satisfied.
yeah, Titans did an okay job. Titans was a fun show.
Eh,
Eh,
I
yeah,
agree and disagree. I thought it was fun
yeah,
for what it was, but it was
right.
not what I wanted, right?
Mm-mm.
It was that same thing
No,
where they tried to base it too much in reality. I'm like, "Dude, you got a dude that can turn into any animal. You got
right.
some weird hex
Yep.
witch that is the
Mhm.
daughter of Trigon, which is essentially
Right.
DC devil, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
then you got an alien that doesn't really look like an alien,
No.
right? Until what, the
Yeah.
later season, she actually gets her, like, uniform and everything.
Yeah.
Like, the first
Yeah.
season, she got, like, the big coat and all, like,
Right, yeah.
like,
The big
it
hair.
yeah, like, stylistic choices, I could
Yeah.
maybe they tweaked a few things here and there.
Sure.
it's whatever, but
It
the
felt
whole
like
gritty thing in the opening shit
yeah,
that got me
fuck
was,
Batman.
"Fuck Batman." Like, dude, get
Yeah.
out of here.
It's like
Like, I don't care.
it's Hot Topic Nightwing. Hot Topic Teen
Stupid.
Titans. Um, dude, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Yeah, I
I
love that
loved
movie.
I loved Birdman. That movie was excellent. No, I think that, the future of like the DC film. So I was we were briefly talking about it. I do have a very like sick level of excitement for the Craven the Hunter jumping over to Marvel, just because I want to see
Right,
Craven the
right.
Hunter murdering people in full HD like he should be, like Venom should have done. But
Yeah.
I am also super excited for Aquaman. That movie just looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm glad that they're actually utilizing Black Manta. Like they brought Black Manta in the first movie. He got smacked around a lot, and I'm like, all right,
But he didn't become
he
Black
wasn't
Manta until, like,
really
the
the
tail end.
yeah. I know, and I'm so glad that they took that opportunity to build his character so that they can bring him back for the sequel and make him the villain.
Right. Yeah.
Great choice.
It
Great
I think
choice.
that's gonna be
It's
phenomenal, and I
yeah.
was reading a couple interviews with, James Wan, basically, he's like, "Yeah, it's
Mhm.
like, it's just a buddy adventure movie." It's
Mhm.
basically Aquaman and Ocean Master,
Yep.
half brothers teamed up
Yep.
to
Yeah.
take on Black Manta because he has the black trident, right?
Black Trident, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Which will be fine,
yes,
like I said, I mean, it's a l too little too late, in my
right.
opinion. It's like, why even release it at this point, you know?
It
Because
honestly,
it
like
has nothing to do with what's coming out,
right.
right? So it's like, it's just gonna confuse people, just
I
like The Flash
guess,
confused
yeah.
people. Because The Flash,
Yeah.
if they were gonna do it, they should have done Aquaman, then The
Right.
Flash, and then that
Right.
would have reset everything, right?
Reset the
And then
universe,
we
yeah.
could have springboarded from
Well,
there.
that's
And I think what
originally
I was reading is what they ended up doing a bunch of reshoots, and that's why Flash got released first.
right. That's so that all happened thanks to Amber Turd, for the most part, because they did a lot of editing and shooting around her. Um,
Right.
but yeah, no, so originally it was supposed to be Aquaman last November, and then
Yeah.
Flash comes out this year, but they took offense to a lot of the things that went on with her. That's not listen to murder podcasts if you want to hear all about that nonsense,
Right.
or you know, but um I honestly at this point there's like everything that Sony Pictures does regarding Spider-Man's properties that aren't MCU related.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. Like I just like it's all stupid and
Buckle up and
ridiculous.
enjoy the ride
Yeah, I
at
know.
this
Shut your
point.
brain off. Shut your brain off for a tight 90-minute movie that
Mhm.
may or may not be good. Um,
Buy your
ye
popcorn, buy your
Yep,
jujubes, and call it a
yep,
day.
yep, that's it, dude. You remember the Transformers movies? I watch every single one of those when they come out, and those are bad movies. Those are bad movies, but boy, do I just, like I turn
Still have
that
yet to
switch,
see
man.
Rise of the Beast, man. I As much as I love Beast Wars growing up, because that
Yeah,
was our
yeah.
generation's
Dude, yeah, yeah,
Transformers,
dude. Beast
but,
Wars
like
was our thing. Um I liked it. I liked it. I
Mhm.
actually I liked it a lot more than the last two for sure. Bumblebee was fantastic. Bumblebee was really good, but the Marky Mark movies weren't good at all.
Right.
Oh, we found a transformer.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
No, I
Oh
don't know.
man.
I I like how they've kinda restarted it with the
Yeah.
Bumblebee
Yeah.
movie, right? So it's
Absolutely.
like
And they're
Bumblebee
going
and
through
then
the
Rise of the
yeah,
Beasts, and then I
right.
think they'll probably do some more after that.
Right. Well, the end. Well, I can't spoil it for you. Do you care?
I mean, not really, but I mean, they may care.
All right.
They probably don't.
Well, no, dude, if you haven't watched Transformers: Rise of the Beasts yet, there's also a backdoor pilot for a new GI Joe flick at the end of it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
like literally, yeah. So the main
Do the
character,
Joes show up?
the main dude. So at the end, he gets to like he's looking for a job because his kid brother is really sick, but he saved the world. So they're like, hey, come in for this interview. We're gonna get you this really cool job. He's like, how do you feel about working for this group? Welcome to GI Joe. And I'm like, yo, I literally sat up in my bed and just like cheered because it was the dumbest fucking thing in the world, but it was so exciting to like 10-year-old me. So yeah,
Right.
no, they're gonna GI Joe and Transformers all in one shared universe.
I mean, I'm here for it. I mean, it's actually
Yeah.
perfect timing because Image is doing their whole,
Right.
like, universe now. Because G.I. Joe's getting they're doing, like, a Duke and a Cobra Commander book and all that
Dude,
stuff, and
that's
Josh Williamson is doing the Duke book, and I think he's doing the Cobra Commander book, which
that's
is really
awesome.
good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Super stoked about all those things. I
Dude, yeah, no, that makes me happy to hear. So yeah, no, I like this actually kind of ended up being our little bullshitting podcast, but it turned into more of like a let's talk movies. Um,
Yeah, but it's alright, I mean, 'cause
yeah.
it's still in that same
Oh, for
realm
sure.
of
No,
what
it's
we
all
talk
hyper
about. Yeah,
relevant, and it's something
yeah,
we don't get a chance to talk about much just because a lot of our stuff is tied directly into the print medium.
right.
But there's a lot of exciting stuff happening, man, dude. I watched went back and rewatched the Marvels trailer. I'm so excited for that movie. It looks so much fun, and it's so
Yeah.
nice that Marvel's getting back to fun. Um,
Well, I hope it's fun. I
I
just,
hope it's fun. Yeah.
it's one of those things, like, just everything that's kind of been coming out is just meh. Have you watched any of Loki yet?
Yep. Sorry, that was me flipping the coin, deciding whether or not it's gonna be fun. I have, dude. I
Right,
watched the
yeah.
first two. I watched the
Yeah,
first two.
I
I'm
need to watch
enjoying it. Yeah, I
the
haven't
3rd
watched the third
episode.
yet. I'm loving it, dude.
It's great.
I've heard some people complaining about it, which I don't understand. Like a lot of the
Well,
complaints are that it's not as Loki focused. Like, bitch, do you not understand what makes this show great? It's the rest of the
mhm.
like it's
Yes,
everybody
Tyler, he
and him.
is.
Yes, yeah.
He is the co-CEO, right? Like, right?
Yeah, it's him and Peter Safran are now in
Yeah.
charge of the DC universe, so he is no longer working with Marvel, which means that the next time we see the Guardians of the Galaxy, it'll be in a crossover movie, or somebody decides to take on new Guardians, which I
Which
would love
is
to see. I'd love to see
yeah.
that team with a new creative. As long as they can continue to capture the essence of the characters, I'm here for it for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I think Guardians 3 was the perfect end cap of that whole series. You got
Oh,
1,
for sure.
2,
Yep.
Christmas special 3. That
Yeah.
trilogy, was
Yeah.
perfect
It
in every
was.
way. I think
It,
he definitely told his definitive beginning, middle, end, and
right.
there was I can't even really think of any, like, plot hole things where I was like, "Man," I was like, "What's happening here?" You know?
Dude, honestly, like, they left nothing, like, if you
Yeah, all the everything was
every
tied in a nice pretty bow at the
yeah,
end.
every single post-credit sequence from the end of Guardians 2 got addressed.
Mhm.
Like, you might say, like, yeah, even the stuff with the fucking Ravagers and everything. Now, granted, we didn't get the cool, Stallone's group side story that we might have wanted, but they joined up with, Gamora, like, they were part of, Gamora's Ravagers.
Yeah,
Everything
easily.
was addressed correctly. It was done so well. And nothing, yeah. I know a lot of people complain that Guardians 2 felt awkward in its release point, but you have to figure those movies took years to write. Because if you watch, like, when you watch the MCU straight through, you watch Guardians 1 and 2 back to back, period. Like, those movies just go
Yeah,
right
you watch the
behind one
timeline
another.
on Disney
Yeah.
Plus, they have the
Yeah,
actual
it
MCU
is. And
timeline.
that's fine. Like, that's good. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And then you have like the 6-year jump until everything else picks back up. But no, Guardians was perfect. I do have a lot of hope for the Marvels just because of the fact that Ms. Marvel was fantastic. That show was so good. I thought that it was just a fun TV show. And even,
Right.
I know, like, I don't think about a lot of it often, but it does still sit with me. And not for nothing, that little sound effect at the end there when
Oh,
he
yeah.
reveals that Kamala Khan is a mutant.
Yeah, she has a mutation in the
Yep.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
just so good. So I'm excited for the Marvels. I'm excited for the Marvels. I can't wait to take Aiden to see that. I'm gonna have to sit him down and make him watch Captain Marvel so that he kind of understands who she is.
Right.
And we do that like before we go see the movies because he has not watched every single MCU movie cover to cover like I have. I know I tried to sit down with him to watch Captain America and he got a little bored, which I get. Like at the time he was 9, so
Oh, yeah.
It's
No,
not
I mean,
like, yeah,
that's
it's that movie's dense. It is a very dense movie. I get why a lot of people don't care for it as much because it's not like at the time it came out, we had like Iron Man 2, and Thor, and there are all these action-packed flicks. And then we have Captain America, the First Avenger, and it is like a 2 hour and change movie that is just building, it's just world building
right, yeah.
in the right
And
ways, in
also
the
it's
right
a
way.
it's a World War II period piece on
Exactly.
top of
Yeah,
that,
it
you know?
is.
Like, it's just it gets tough, that's all.
It
It's
does. Yeah.
I love the Captain America trilogy, I think
Oh,
it's
me
great.
too,
I mean,
man.
he's one of
Yeah.
my favorite superheroes on the Marvel side of
Oh,
the house
I know.
anyway, so
He's great. No, it's I'm excited for the future of the MCU, especially now that like I really think so. The writer's strike was wonderful for the writers of movies and TV and film, but I think it did a good thing for Marvel because everything's getting pushed back. Everything's getting like calmed down, and they're actually taking their time with stuff. So I think they just announced that Deadpool 3 is coming out next October instead of May. Um,
I mean, it's it's possible, I mean, it's Grant Morrison, Doom Patrol,
yeah,
let's go, you
yeah.
know? But, I mean, I I wouldn't be mad at it, I wouldn't be mad at
No,
it,
no. I mean, dude, James Gunn.
I would like to see a I'm not saying like, the HBO series is great.
Oh
The
yeah,
HBO
dude,
one is it's really fun, but
it is.
it definitely has a niche, like, cult following. It's not
Mhm.
for everyone, you know?
Right.
So, if there's a way for him to do a Doom Patrol that is, you know, a little more approachable, right? A little more
Right.
open to
Yeah.
all audiences, I think that would be a fun that'd be a fun one for sure.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
no, I'm aware that Danny was in the series.
right,
I'm
yeah.
just saying in general, like I was
Right,
saying,
getting it out to the
the
mass
show
audience
yeah, the show is really not for
for
it has its
everybody.
audience.
Right. Dude, I love the Doom Patrol show. I love Brendan Fraser as Robot Man. Like, he dude, it
Yeah.
was such it's a good one. Sorry, that one caught me off guard. But I mean, that's Tyler, you bring up a really good point there. I mean, James Gunn at Marvel decided, A, he's gonna make a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but then he's like, hey guys, who's gonna be a member of this little like band of misfit toys? We're gonna bring Howard the Duck into the MCU and make him appear in 3 movies in a holiday special.
Right, yeah,
And
just
people
like
are gonna know
random
who the hell
cameos.
he is. Like,
Mhm.
that made me happy. That made me so
So, but
happy.
I mean, like, the fact that he did that, I think that is a testament to his abilities, right?
Right.
And I have full faith and confidence in what he's gonna do. Because, like, granted, he's not writing and directing everything, right? He's just the
No,
head of it.
no.
But he's writing and
It
directing Superman, he's
right.
writing and I think producing Creature Commandos,
Yes,
right?
yes. That is, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know that he's
so
directing it, but he's writing it for sure. So,
yeah, so
um,
he definitely has his hands in
yeah.
everything when it
But
comes to
he's
DC, and I think
vetting
that's
everything, like, yeah.
yeah.
He's
Well, and
DC's Kevin
he's making a
Feige.
cohesive universe, which is
Right,
what should
exactly.
have happened from the
Yeah.
jump, and then they just kinda let everybody just jump in the sandbox and do whatever they wanted. That was the
Well,
biggest problem.
they gave Zack Snyder the reins to the biggest characters and then said, "Hey, everybody else do whatever you want."
And then they're like, "Hey,
And
Zach, figure it out."
yep, and he's just like, "'Kay, 'kay." They gave him the reins, but they didn't give him the control, and that's
Right.
the issue. I honestly have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that Zack Snyder could have helped build a cohesive universe. There would have just been a lot of movies that came out with less sepia tone, and they would have been part of this universe in a better way if he had just said, "Hey, this is what I have going on in this next big event. Try and make it so that this makes sense." But
Well,
that's not what
I think
happened.
that's what James Gunn's doing. He's gonna approach it
Exactly.
in the
Yes.
way that
Writers do.
the comic book writers
Right.
room works, right? Where they're like, "Alright, cool." So they have the Batman brain trust, they have the X-Men, brain trust of all the head writers of all the different series, and then you got your flagship series, and they're like, "That's the one that sells the most, so you guys
Right.
have to do what they're doing," you know? And, you know,
Yeah,
I think that James Gunn could pull it off. I'm a little concerned that he might just lean too heavy into the jokey stuff, and I understand that DC is definitely the more like the brighter, more colorful
right,
universe of the 2. I mean,
right,
it most people wouldn't realize that because they don't read comics, right?
right.
But if they're just going off movies, like, "Oh, no, Marvel's the funny one, right? DC's the dark and gritty one." But actually, in reality,
No,
if you
no,
read any DC if you pick up any DC book, it's all, bright colors and jokey
right.
fun, And then
Yeah,
Marvel's the one that's always trying to be, the dark, serious, grounded in reality
right.
with, real world consequences. And I'm not saying DC doesn't do that, but DC
No,
has
for sure.
always been known for being the lighter hearted of the
Well,
2,
yeah, I mean, you have DC. DC is DC's dark
aside
side
from Vertigo
is
and Black
yeah,
Label.
yeah, yeah. But no, like I mean, Batman. Because of Batman, everybody just thinks that everything at DC is all dark and broody. But no, dude. Like
But that's
Action
not even
Comics is
Batman
100
either,
and fun.
really,
No, it's
and
not, dude.
it wasn't
Damn
until Tim
Powerful.
Burton's Batman.
Right. Yeah, Batman was just as goofy as everyone else until Tim Burton's Batman and then Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah,
And like that was the beginning of Batman being a dark and broody character. But
and then
oh,
from that point on, that was it.
yeah, Tyler. Yep, that is a that's a fact. Yeah, it was Tim Burton's Batman. I don't know. I'm excited about the future of DC. I'm excited to see. I do understand, the fears that James Gunn is gonna. Oh man,
Agree,
look, I love. Yeah, I agree. I love
agree.
Taika. I loved Ragnarok. I did not love Love and Thunder.
You literally had Christian Bale playing one of the most badass villains that Thor
Dude,
has, and he gets what, a total of, like, 12 minutes of screen
I
time
think it well,
realistically?
it's actually I think they counted it out and it is almost exactly 15 minutes of screen time across an hour and
Yeah,
45 minutes, or almost 2 hours of movie. Yeah. Gore the God
and
Butcher, if you have not read, Ja
Jason
is
Aaron,
Jason Aaron. Jason Aaron's run on Thor, read it. Read it. Read it. It is
it's the
perfect.
best, it's literally the best.
It leads into the Mighty Thor and, all of that, like, it all kind of bleeds or phases in together, so dude.
But I mean, no, but what happened was they took it and they mushed a whole
Mhm.
bunch of Thor shit into one
Yeah,
movie, and
yeah,
Jason Aaron had been writing Thor for, I don't know, what, 6, 7, 8 years at
yeah,
that point, close to a
right.
decade, or maybe it wasn't even that long, but it
No,
felt
it
like it.
wasn't it wasn't quite that long, but yeah, I mean, dude, they took one of the best Thor stories to come out in the last 20 years, I'd say the last 20 years, like,
Yeah,
the best Thor books ever, and they mash it up with another one of the most heart-wrenching and compelling Thor stories ever,
and they make
and
a joke of it.
they made it a Taika Waititi Thor movie, which I'm about, but don't take these 2 subjects and put them together, bro.
Yeah, that's 2 separate movies,
Fucking yeah,
yeah, they could've been
man,
Thor 4 and Thor 5 right there.
right. Like, Thor: Love and Thunder. It should have been Thor: Love and Thor: Thunder, and they would have made Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm okay with that, but no, dude,
No,
I want to like that movie much more than I do.
yeah.
Man,
No, just
soundtrack.
cut all the goat shit off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you though, dude. Those fucking goats every time they came on screen, I couldn't stop myself from laughing because it was so ridiculous and stupid. But no, it was a really compelling concept and it was lackluster. And I think because of how good Ragnarok was and how well they understood the character, I wanted I was more let down than anything because it's like, dude, Ragnarok, perfect movie. You've got Thor, who is kind of a joke, and doesn't need to be so serious. But then you take a serious Thor story, like Kenneth Branagh should have directed that one instead of Taika Waititi. Yeah, I'm not. I don't like Guns N' Roses. The scene with November Rain was pretty dope, though. I will say, having them go in and give the kids all the powers of Thor to wreck shop at the tail end of
Yeah.
the movie. That was a lot of fun. All right, everybody. Well, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for joining us for another Boy Wonders podcast. I know this is a lot shorter than our usual fare, but like we said at the top of the show, it's been a hectic couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
we don't want to take a break from you guys, but we did take a break from the norm and just sat here and talked about everything. So
Yeah, you
please,
guys you
yeah,
kinda got a peek on how our war room sessions go,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
this is literally what we do.
This is yep,
We'll hammer out our outline, and our
right,
talking points and all that good stuff, and then the rest of it is just kinda us bullshitting and talking about what we love and hate about all
yeah.
things
Oh,
comic book
absolutely.
media, you know?
Yeah, because
But,
we could do this. Yeah, we spend as much time streaming as we do just bullshitting
yeah.
middle of the week. So so
But
there's
yeah,
your
no,
little
I got
inside, this little inside baseball.
yeah, no, but, like Trevor said, man, thank you guys so much for joining us. Like I said, this is a
Yeah,
a short little relaxed fit,
yeah,
if you will, right?
yeah.
Like, that was
Just like this
just
out.
a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
light, little fun,
yeah,
just a little FaceTime with you guys. I appreciate everybody
yeah.
showing up, man. This was fun.
Awesome.
Maybe we can make this more of a staple, every couple episodes, we'll do just a
Yeah.
fun little, like, just bullshit, more like,
Right.
more engaging with the people in the chat. I think that
Right.
would be fun to do, like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
a chat episode.
Yeah, and there's a we'll at some point, Dan, this is more inside baseball for you because this is also going to kind of be our little post show war room as well. But we have the ability to throw like Q&As up in the chat, so we're going to play around with that a bit more in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah, and we're still learning, so I appreciate you
Right.
guys bearing with us for sure. Like, this is like, the StreamYard alone has just made the show infinitely
Right.
better than it was, so,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So anyway, thank you guys so much. I have been Trev.
And I'm Dan. See y'all next time. Thanks so much.
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace.